Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm peekaboo. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2020, the album Dad AF. Now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? Jeffree, why won't you invite me to your castle in the sky, Jeffree? I'm glad that so many of you enjoyed my Oscar-winning performance yesterday from my video, and we are going to talk about Jeffree Star here today because I'm obsessed. No, it's because that's what's going on in the beauty industry world right now is Jeffree Star. It's all over the place. Everybody's talking about it, so I'm going to talk about it too. So anyway, let's get into that. First, I need to put on a little bit of lip gloss. My favorite lip gloss in the whole entire world from Lunar Beauty. It's the best lip gloss. I love it. I just look, I've got some tan going on here. I just went to the pool with my good Judy, Tanya Jane. Y'all know Tanya Jane. We went up into her country club. Let me just tell you. She called me today. She said, "Do you want to go to my country club with me instead of going to your little street pool over with 5,000 kids?" I said, "Sure, Tanya Jean, let's go there." We walked into that bougie country club. We had, what do you call it, coolers and 5,000 towels and floaties and all kinds of things. We walked in there. They thought we were like the next, look at my hair. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. They thought we were like right out straight of that, like, you know, Chevy Chase Vacation movie. We walked right into that country club, you know. But it was like National Lampoon's Country Club or something. That's what us, like, we were walking in there. We did not care, trust me. In fact, I'm actually thinking about doing a rant video in addition to this today because I haven't done a rant video in a long time and people ask for them all the time. And I have some things to rant about with the pool. So if you'd like that, well, it may be coming to you. Okay, let's get into this video. Today, we're going to talk about Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star has become the clearance queen. I'm laughing because, you know, back in the day, people, you got to be careful where you point your finger, right? Because like people always say, when you're pointing your finger at somebody, there's 3 fingers pointing back. I don't necessarily agree with that statement. I just want to say that, okay? 2 things I want to say before we get into this, okay? I'm going to talk about Jeffree Star. I'm going to talk about James Charles because James Charles is getting a little messy and I think he needs to be a little careful. That would just be my advice to him. But I want to talk about karma and I want to talk about this finger pointing thing. First of all, you know, Jeffree Star was somebody that back in the day, we've seen all these video clips. I mean, we've seen a lot come out about Jeffree Star in the last couple months. But, you know, he was somebody that when all these other beauty influencers, Laura and Manny and everybody else, you know, they were like Nikita and Gabriel, when they were all like going down the tubes, he had no problem taking to Snapchat, taking to Instagram, getting on Twitter and shading these people, okay? And calling them all kinds of snakes and reptiles, okay? He was calling them lemurs and I don't even know what, okay? He was rude. He just was. And people literally ate it up. But now that it's Jeffree Star, it's like, oh, we gotta be nice. We gotta be loved. Okay, all right, fine. Like I can extend him that favor, right? But the fact that he's just absolutely, totally staying silent just is baffling to me still, right? I mean, I cannot believe that neither he nor Shane have come out and made any kind of statement. I mean, it really, to me, is like, you really do not care about your audience. Now, with Shane, I think, like, he made his apology video, and he's probably sitting back there, and he's probably like, I've got to really think through what I want to do when I come back. I really want to present to them that I'm making changes, or I'm taking care of myself right now, and so I can come back and present to my audience. Okay. But with Jeffree, it's like, Jeffree still hasn't said anything, hasn't defended Shane like Shane defended Jeffree, and then put out like a launch. Like, I just am baffled. I'm like, wow, you are more of a crap person than I thought you were. Like, seriously, like that is such a bad look. So anyway, but with this finger pointing thing, you know, people always say when you're pointing your finger at somebody, there's 3 fingers pointing back. Let me tell you a lesson that I've learned the last couple years, okay, with all of that. You know, and listen, don't come to me and say, well, you say that, but I'm a drama commentary, opinionated, gossip tea channel, okay? So my job over here is to come on here and give some drama and commentary. In my personal life, I take a lot of look at who I am. I do a lot of inventory. I do a lot of evaluation. That's a big part of who I am, and it's a big part of my life because part of working a 12-step program is that you do that on a regular basis, okay? But with this finger pointing stuff, it's like one of the things I learned in the last couple years. Like I said, don't point your finger at people. Don't call people people, okay, people? Now let's get on with that. But when you do that, okay, like we all want to tell on somebody. We all want to be like, well, if you knew what this person did to me, and if you knew what this person did to me, and if you knew what that person did to me, and yada, 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 right? we all want to do that at some point. We want vindication, we want justification, okay? We want people to look at us and go, wow, you really were wronged, okay? And I think most of us out there feel that we were wronged in some situation. But when we're pointing the finger at somebody, it's not about the finger pointing back at you, because listen, we all have, like, most of us, whenever I say all, there's not people out there that are like, I haven't done these things. We've all done, you know, things that we need to, like, learn from, mistakes that we've made in our lives, right? But I would rather at this point, like, I don't want to spend energy and time that I have left on this earth directed towards people that, like, they're not going to be in my life 5 or 10 years from now. Hell, they're not in my life now, right? So why give that so much time, energy, and effort? Like, why, right? So that finger pointing back at myself, that's what I'm more concerned with. I don't want to point the finger at somebody else, because the time that I'm working on letting everybody else know what this person did to me is time I'm taking away from fixing myself to have the best life that I possibly can, okay? So that's where I'm at with this all today, and so that's why I try to get on my channel and I try to give suggestions and, you know, life experience. And that's one of the things I have really learned in the last couple years, up till just the last 2 or 3 years. Listen, I was all about, let me tell you what this person did to me. Let me tell you how they wronged me. Okay, you have no idea what this person did to me. It's a futile attempt. It's pointless, okay? We're wasting time doing that. You're wasting time focusing on your life when you're constantly wanting everybody else to see how somebody did you wrong. It's pointless. Take that time and focus on yourself. But now that I got all that out of here, let's talk about Jeffree Star. Okay. So, you know, Jeffree Star is somebody that he has pointed the finger a lot at other people, and he has made fun of other people, okay? And he has come out and he's done videos like where he went and did the Dollar General thing and made some, like, pointed joke about James Charles and all this kind of stuff. There was the whole Kat Von D makeup that was being sold all places. I mean, that was a huge joke. Not just with Jeffree, but with everybody. We all laughed at it, right? And I've said this in the last couple videos, but, you know, when it came to, like, Laura and Manny and Nikita and all these people, you know, and, like, Jeffree had no problem putting them in their place and getting on Snapchat and Instagram stories and being like, you know, like, imagine. Remember the imagination thing, because it's going to come up here in just a second. But anyway, the imagine, all this kind of stuff, right? Like, not giving your audience an apology, okay? How quickly Jeffree stands forget, and they also excuse away that the same man that when he was saying that about Laura and Manny, they were applauding him and saying, yes, yes. Can you even imagine doing this and not apologizing to your audience? The same people that supported that are now the same people that are defending the fact that the same man who said it isn't coming out and giving his fans an apology, okay? Y'all look like a big joke to me is what you look like, okay? You look like a joke because you're standing somebody that don't care about you, okay? Take that time and energy and, I don't know, go find you, like, a local volunteer group or something, okay? Or call up your great-grandma and call her up and say, hey, happy birthday to your 103rd birthday, Grandma. I love you, and I'm going to give all my attention to you because Jeffree Star, he don't care about me anymore, okay? Or realize that this man that has gotten on his Instagram, Snapchat stories for so long and said, this, you know, like, I love you guys so much, thank you, thank you, thank you. All he cares about is Birkins and houses in Calabasas. That's all he cares about, period, end of story, okay? And I know y'all don't want to believe it, but that's the truth, okay? And he is evidencing this right now. It's not even a word. But I digress. So, Jeffree Star, okay, who came out and made fun of everybody else's stuff being put on clearance, is now the clearance queen himself, okay? Now, Morphe has come out and they have said that they are done, that they aren't going to be selling his stuff anymore. And a lot of people are saying, like, I started getting all these messages that they're like, I'm in the UK and they're still selling his stuff, or I went to this store and his stuff is still in the store. They got to get rid of this stuff, okay? They're a retail operation, okay? If they don't, they're literally going to take a major loss on all this crap that they already bought from Jeffree Star Cosmetics or whatever, right? Because I'm sure they buy it wholesale and sell it retail. So they got to get rid of this stuff. So they marked it down 50% off. Clearance queen, 50% off, okay? Quite frankly, like, nobody's talking that much about it. I think it's kind of humiliating, actually. I think it's humiliating because these LaCroix, they all taste the same, don't you think? Anyway, except for the limoncello. I love the limoncello. But, you know, it's kind of humiliating because it's like this. You came out and said all this stuff about other people, and now you're the butt of your own joke, right? Like, this is where you have to be kind of, like, careful sometimes, okay? And when you get to the point of arrogance and ego, when you're that high up there that you literally think that you're unstoppable, where you are allegedly making comments like, I cannot be canceled, then you become the butt of your own joke, right? Because what happens is, then the tables get turned on you. James Charles comes out and he endorses a statement about karma. I'm not really sure I'm a big believer in karma. I know that we want to talk about Carmageddon and all that kind of stuff. I've seen a lot of people get by on this earth that listen, okay, I don't see any karma going on there, okay, so I'm not really a believer in, and you know, the other thing is sometimes we might not see how karma really works, right? Like, just because somebody seems to be living their best life doesn't necessarily mean that karma's not eating them up. Who knows, you know what I mean? But anyway, so Jeffree Star has now been marked down at Morphe, okay? The company that he was opening stores for, I mean, like, this is such a huge deal. People are excusing this away and acting like, oh, this is, like, they made a mess. Now everybody's turning on Morphe, okay? The same stands that could not wait this just is, to me, I mean, when you really think about this in the grand scheme of things, it is so baffling, okay? The same fans and stands that literally waited outside for hours, okay, for this man to come outside and cut a ribbon and stand in a mall, okay? The same man that opened all these stores and brought hundreds of thousands of people to, like, the Water Tower in Chicago and to all these other malls, okay? I mean, he was literally mobbed. The same person, they have now marked him down, and they are done with him. That is such a huge statement. I mean, do we really realize what a big statement this is? Morphe was making, so I have to almost kind of wonder if there's something behind the scenes that's not going on. Like, I don't know if there's other influencers that work with Morphe that are saying, if you continue to work with him, we're out. I don't know if it was, like, you know, one article I read said that Jackie Aina and all these other people were saying we don't want your discount codes anymore, that if they looked at how much money they made off of Jeffree Star and they looked at how much money they're making off these other influencers and they're like, we got to cut our losses. You know, we don't really make that much money with him. Who knows, you know? But it's very, very interesting to me. You know, people are speculating that he's still involved in Morphe, and they're just not being honest about that. I don't think that's really the case, okay? I did maybe kind of like a week ago, but I just don't think so now. I think they're making such a blanket statement about this that if they did, it would come back and it would really bite them in the butt. You know what I mean? Like, they would really be, like, they would look like fools, and then nobody would buy from Morphe again. So that's interesting to me that he's being marked down. I went to Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and he hasn't marked down any of his things. I mean, he does have some sale items over there, but none of the, like, the popular things over there. And of course, like, the Morphe items are really only on the Morphe site. But then I started getting messages from people that said that Ulta had marked him down. Well, Ulta, to my knowledge, hasn't come out and made any statement about Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Am I wrong? Now, I know the CEO of Beautylish said that they were going to continue to support Jeffree Star because they're people that bought from there or whatever. That's what it's about at the end of the day, okay? It's not about morals. It's about the almighty dollar, period, end of story, okay? Like, that's what it's all about. And it's really a sad sentiment of where we are right now in our world, that money is, like, money trumps morals. Like, that is such a sad statement, but whatever, you know, like, I know they gotta pay their employees is what everybody says, okay? Well, so anyway, you know, I'm sitting there looking at all this stuff, and I went into the Ulta website. Hold on a second. Where is it at? Okay. I went into the Ulta website, and Ulta has all of their Jeffree Star products on sale, half price off, okay? Literally everything. They have the Morphe Jeffree Star Eye Brush Collection, the Jeffree Star Artistry Palette, the Refresh Mist. I actually liked that Refresh Mist. It smelled like strawberries. I kind of did. You know what it reminded me of, though? It reminded me back in the day of the strawberry, what was her name? Shortcake dolls. Do you remember that? And then the smelly stickers, and you would rub them and they would smell and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I have to say this. Like, I know that people love Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and I think his stuff is kind of cool looking from the outside, but in all honesty, like, when you touch it and stuff, it feels very cheap. It really does. Like, it's not like I have to say, like, where is it at? Am I sitting on it? Where did it go? Like, Lunar Beauty's components, I talked about this in my vlog the other night. The components, like, feel really expensive, right? Like, if you've ever bought anything from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, like, stuff breaks apart. Like, it's not high quality. It just really isn't. It's kind of, I mean, that's why it gets compared a lot to, like, what's that store in the mall that sells all that it sells all the t-shirts for, like, the horror movies and stuff. Why can't I think of what that store is called? But you know what I'm talking about? They always have makeup in the back and all that kind of stuff. I think, like, it's kind of, like, fun. It looks fun. Like, his makeup is always kind of, like, high concept fun, you know? But I wouldn't say that I feel like it's luxury components. And I know that people love his makeup, not the components. So maybe it doesn't really matter. But I do think, like, as much attention as he paid in the past to, like, what each palette looks like in the boxes and stuff, when you buy them, they really aren't that, like, that high quality. They really aren't. So Ulta's got all of his stuff on half price. Now, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, they don't. But I will tell you one thing that's interesting to me is that some of the same things that they have on, is it the Morphe website? I think it's the Morphe website. they also have those things for sale on Jeffree Star Cosmetics. So that was kind of interesting to me. Like some of the lip ammunitions are on sale on the Jeffree Star Cosmetics site. So maybe they're just so old or whatever. And a lot of things are sold out too. So who knows? But I don't know why you would pay full price for something on Jeffree Star Cosmetics that you could get for half price on Morphe. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I did not go in enough to look to see if it's like, I didn't matchy like the match game, you know, where you picked. I was so bad at that when I was a kid. I got real bored after 2 picks and I couldn't match something. I'd be like, Mom, let's play Old Maid or something. I can't be doing all this. And then we played Old Maid, you know, and she'd always put the card up in the middle because she felt so bad for me. She'd say, like, do you want me to let you win? She'd always say that to me. And I'd be like, Mom, just let me win. Okay, so we can be done with this stupid game. Anyway, so that's the Jeffree Star stuff. Like, apparently, like, everybody's dropping it. People think that this is not, you know, it's interesting because I've been seeing a lot of people come out and say, like, this isn't going to really hit Jeffree Star, blah, 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 blah. Yes, it absolutely is. There is not any product on Jeffree Star's website right now that is new, like a newer product, like the cremated palette, none of that. The new, like, eyeliner, what, I don't know even what, nobody came out with. The liquid lipsticks, whatever he just came out with. Who'd care? Who'd care for all day long? You'll release a product in the middle of all this? But anyway, the only 2 things that I saw that were newer on the cremated palette collection are the travel bags. Those are the 2 things that are sold out. But everything else over there is still, like, for sale. So he's not selling out of anything, okay? And Morphe has now cut ties with him, and it looks like Ulta is cutting ties with him. Do I think that Morphe and Ulta cutting ties with Jeffree Star Cosmetics and him not selling out? I think it's a big deal, you guys. I think people that want to sit there and be like, Jeffree Star's still going to make a ton of money. He is an indie brand, okay? The fact that indie brands are already in Morphe and Ulta has to do with his popularity on YouTube and other places, and he's not paying any attention to his fans right now. People forget this, okay? If Jeffree Star is not, like, present on YouTube and he is not a social media figure, let's say if 5 years went away, right? And he wasn't coming out with these videos where he was showing, like, his reviews of things, he wasn't doing Jeffree Star approved makeup, which at this point, who'd probably care, except for, like, his, you know, total fans, and he wasn't doing all this kind of stuff, he wouldn't be where he's at, that people would be, like, so die because for his makeup. You know, I would have to say probably 50 to 60% of the people that buy his makeup really, really love his makeup. I'd have to believe that the other 30 to 40% or 50% are people that are just super stans of his. And they buy his makeup and yeah, it's great, but they could buy somebody else's too, right? So if you're talking about losing over 5 years, if you just step away from YouTube, that you're losing 40 to 50% of your audience and your sales, and then Morphe cuts ties with you and Ulta cuts ties with you, and over time Beautylish isn't really making any money off you, so they eventually will cut ties. I mean, right now he's a moneymaker for them, but if he's not, they're not going to continue to order his stuff and sell it on there. Why would they? They're not going to make any money. Yeah, people forget, okay? They think that YouTube is the end all. I could walk down the street and ask 10 people, what do you think of Jeffree Star? And they'd say, who? I don't know her. They wouldn't know who Jeffree Star was, okay? They don't live and die for these people the way that people do on YouTube. So it's not like if he walked away in 5 years that like his brands continue. He's not a La Mer. He's not like an Estee Lauder. I mean, he's not these like brands that are going to continue to be sold in Nordstrom and Saks and Macy's and places like that and Sephora and Ulta if he's not on social media, period. And people that don't want to believe that, like, they need to figure it out. Like, this is a sales game. I mean, I've said this for a long time. Y'all, this is a moneymaker, okay? And for a lot of these people at this point, YouTube is literally just advertising. I mean, we already know that that whole situation with the Shane series, like, that was an advertisement, okay? Well, a lot of YouTubers at this point that are just putting out stuff, by the way, I'm coming up with new merch, okay? Somebody sent me a piece of fan art. I don't know any fans! Anyway. This picture, and I was living. I was like, oh my god, it's actually me, and I'm like flipping 2 fans like this. It's so cute. And so I messaged her back, and I was like, would you do some merch for me? Because I love her. I said, I would love to like work with you, and I've got some things. I'm coming out with a t-shirt, okay? And it's gonna say, be too much on it. Because that's my new saying from my video the other day, and I love that too much. We gotta all be too much, right? But no, at the end of the day, this is all about business. Ain't nobody gonna buy my merch if I'm not on YouTube. Come on, figure it out, folks. This is all advertising. That's what these people do, okay? And Jeffree Star said he wasn't gonna do no sponsored videos. So now he's gonna start doing sponsored videos and everybody will come for him because he's doing sponsored videos. You guys, I don't think people really have an idea. This is really gonna take a major hit on Jeffree Star. Unless he's just like, other businesses that he has off of YouTube are so good that he doesn't rely on it. Well, that could be. That really could be. And then he could just walk away. And I hope that he probably has. invested that kind of money. Well, I don't hope. I could care less, honestly, you know. But like, I mean, listen. People think that this stuff doesn't happen. There are YouTubers out there that had 3 to 5 million subscribers that are literally now working in coffee shops and waiting tables in Los Angeles. If you don't think it happens, okay? So just people need to be smart, right? All right. Then the next thing I want to talk about is James Charles. Now, James Charles, he was liking some tweets on the Twitter. You know how that is and all this kind of stuff. Here, I was taking some pictures of me at the pool. Now, I did post a picture. I always put my towel over my neck because I don't want everybody to see my large margin charged body. But anyway, I might post another picture, but it looks very identical to the last picture I posted. So anyway, because I'm going to have one like this. All right. Oh, where? Let me get into this picture. Okay, so anyway, someone tweeted out, and I got sent this by a bunch of people. Someone sent me, somebody, I can't speak. Somebody tweeted out, karma is a biatch. Okay, with, what do you call it? Like, this is my emoji. With a heart face emoji. The emoji that has like 3 hearts on it, you know? And then James Charles liked this tweet, right? Okay, interesting. Now, we throw this word karma around so much, okay? Now, have I witnessed what could be perceived as karmic energy in the world work? Yes, but not always. Not always. I've seen a lot of people get away with a lot. I really have, you know? And sometimes karma doesn't, I don't think sometimes karma does pay. But I will tell you this, what I have learned, okay? And this is just my same thing about karma. We always want to talk about karma's a bitch and karma, you know, she showed up at your door and karma did this and all kind of stuff. We always want to talk about karma, okay? Let me tell you about karmic energy. We always want to talk about negative karmic energy, right? We always want to talk about, and this should be a lesson to, I think, a lot of people out there. Because this is a very valuable lesson that I have learned in my life. We want to talk about this karmic energy, right? That if you do this person wrong, then that karmic energy will come back to you, okay? Tenfold, right? But what about positive karmic energy? Like if you're surrounding yourself, and I do believe in this, if you're surrounding yourself with positivity, like, I mean, I don't have a lot of friends. I have 3 or 4 very close friends, but they are diehard good Judies, ride or dies, and they are positive people that are working on themselves on a daily basis, taking a look at who they are. You know, like they are beacons of light in my life. When I am around them, I feel like they lift me up. When I am around negative people, I feel like I am brought down. And I can be that negative person, trust. I have been that negative person at many points in my life before, and I'm draining other people's energy, and I don't want to be that today. I want to be a force of like positivity in somebody's life, right? So when we want to talk about this karmic energy, I do think that, you know, that it's a fair statement to make, but at the same time, personally, for me, I have to ask myself, if I'm a believer in karmic energy, what do I want coming back on me? Well, what I want coming back on me is positive karmic energy. So if I'm going to play this game of karma, I better be putting some positive karma out there. I better be putting some positive energy, okay? And I better be, you know, like trying to be the best version of myself that I can be on a daily basis. And that's where I say for these people, the Shanes and the Jeffrees and all of them out there, right? They're all problematic to some degree. I wish that they would just see this as an opportunity for growth and continue to learn and grow. You know, Trisha Paytas said something, and I know everybody thinks she's a liar of the world and all that kind of stuff. But she said something in a tweet the other day, and I kind of like, it's needle in the haystack wisdom for me with Trisha Paytas, right? But she said this thing the other day, and she said something like, you know, all these people that are leaving social media, it's like, they won't just come out and make an apology and then like learn from it and move on, right? Well, Trisha Paytas, to me, is somebody that makes the apology but never learns and moves on, okay? She just keeps on making the same apologies over and over and over again. That's why I then left her channel, okay? She don't learn from her mistakes. She don't take it and learn from it and move on. That's why I left her channel, and I don't want to be supportive of that anymore. The only time I watch her channel is if I'm commenting on a video. But, you know, she did make I think it's a true statement that, you know, there are so many people out there that would rather just not have to deal with the opportunity for growth or the opportunity for change or, you know, to continue to grow as a human being. They don't want to do that. Like, that's too painful for them. So they'd rather just be like, I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to walk away from all of this, right? Instead of sitting down and having the conversation, instead of sitting down and actually taking an in-depth look at themselves or themselves with, you know, how they are with other people or, you know what, I mean, like, what's so hard about that? Like, ultimately, strip YouTube YouTube away, strip entertainment away, strip all the social media away, then everybody is a human being at the end of the day. And it's like when you lay your head on your pillow at night, I lay my head on my pillow at night the same way that Jeffree Star does, the same way that Shane Dawson does, the same way that Jaclyn Hill does, the same way that PewDiePie does, the same way that the Logan brothers, the same way that Logan Paul and Jake Paul do, James Charles, all these people, okay? We're all human beings at the end of the day. Turn off YouTube, put your phone away. Who are you when all of that is gone? You want to know who I am? Don't ask somebody, okay, out there that sees me driving down the street. Don't ask me somebody that watches my videos. Ask my husband who I am. Ask my best friend who I am. Ask my sponsor who I am. Those are the people that know me. Those are the people that see me, right? That's who I am. And so I try to take that and portray that on here. That's why when people come to my channel, like yesterday, I got flooded with all these really nice tweets yesterday. People are like, thank you so much. You're just so real. I try to be that on camera. What you see here is who I am when I am off camera. It's what I try to be. It's what that's who I want to be, right? And I just think that there's so much fakety, phony BS that goes on with these YouTubers that it's like they don't know who they are anymore, and they've lost themselves to all of that, to what we think is the magic of YouTube. And then this kind of stuff happens, and it's sad, right? Because we fall out of love and we fall out of grace with these people. I was actually going to do a video talking about, like, what do we do now, like, with the Shane Dawson thing? If those of us that were fans and we don't know what to do now, like, what do we do? What do you do when you move on and you have this thing and you've given so much time and energy to this person, you know? Like, do you forgive them? Do you move on? Like, what do you do? What do you do, you know? And I'm kind of putting my thoughts together about that. You know, for me, it's kind of like, I step away and, you know, then I come back later and I reevaluate, kind of like, well, what's going on with all that? So anyway, James Charles, you know, he tweeted that little thing out there about karma, or he liked that tweet. I will also tell you another tweet that he liked. Hold on a second, I thought this was interesting. Somebody said, not only did YouTube send me a notification for your video, they also sent me another telling me to check my subscription box, and you're the only one who's uploaded in days for me. We love this double promo, King, to James Charles, and he liked it. Well, James, that's nice that YouTuber's working so well for you. Because for the rest of us out there, our people aren't getting our notifications. People are getting unsubscribed to us left and right. I got messages yesterday that people were getting unsubscribed to Tati. I got a couple messages about this, that people were getting unsubscribed to Tati, and they're like diehard Tati fans that have watched her for years. So James Charles, they done turned on all the bells and whistles for him. But for the rest of us folk out there, well, we just got to do the best that we can do on our own good luck. So anyway, I love you guys. Let me know what you think about all that in the comment section below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.